The morning sun had barely risen when Rowan Malik realized he had just made the worst mistake of his life. The receipt trembled in his hand as the wind pushed through the bus stop, carrying the distant noise of traffic and the laughter of children walking to school. Across the street, a hospital sign glowed faintly in the daylight, and inside that building his little daughter lay waiting. Rowan's chest tightened as the words of his boss echoed in his mind, a cold sentence that had changed everything. The boss had warned him not to waste money, insisting the situation was not worth the risk. Rowan should have said no. Instead, he had listened. Before we continue this emotional journey, take a moment to support the channel. If you believe in kindness and second chances, please like this video, share it with someone who needs inspiration, leave a comment, and subscribe to Whisper Tales 3. Your support helps these powerful stories reach more hearts. Rowan had been a single father for almost 6 years. Life had changed forever the day his wife passed away unexpectedly, leaving him with a 3-year-old daughter named Sana and a silence in the apartment that never quite disappeared. Rowan worked as a maintenance supervisor in a large office building downtown. It was not glamorous work, but it paid just enough to keep the lights on, food on the table, and Sana's small world filled with simple joys like school lunches, colored pencils, and the occasional ice cream on warm afternoons. Every morning Rowan woke before sunrise. He prepared breakfast, braided Sana's hair as best as he could, and walked her to school before catching the crowded bus to work. His days were filled with fixing broken elevators, repairing pipes, and cleaning dusty mechanical rooms. Yet every evening when Sana ran into his arms after school, the exhaustion faded. Her laughter made every struggle feel worthwhile. But life has a strange way of testing even the strongest hearts. One bright Tuesday morning, Rowan received a call from Sana's school nurse. Sana had fainted during recess. By the time Rowan rushed to the clinic, doctors were already running tests. The hours crawled by under the harsh hospital lights until a doctor delivered news that made Rowan's world spin. Sana had a rare heart condition that required urgent treatment. Without it, her health would slowly decline. The treatment was expensive. Far more than Rowan had saved. Still, Rowan refused to give up. He started searching for every possible solution. Loans, overtime shifts, anything. Eventually he approached his boss, a stern man named Victor Calder who controlled the company's emergency assistance fund. Rowan explained everything with trembling hands and hopeful eyes. Calder listened but quickly dismissed the request. According to him, Rowan should not waste money chasing uncertain medical procedures. He suggested Rowan focus on working harder instead of getting lost in emotional decisions. The message was clear. The help Rowan desperately needed would not come. That night Rowan sat alone at the kitchen table while sunlight faded into evening. Bills covered the table like a storm cloud. Sana slept quietly in the next room, unaware of the fear pressing against her father's chest. Rowan stared at the numbers until they blurred together. Eventually he made a desperate choice. The next morning he withdrew every dollar from his small savings account and paid for a private consultation the hospital had recommended. It was money meant for rent and groceries, money he could not afford to lose. Calder's warning echoed loudly in his mind, but Rowan pushed it aside. If there was even a small chance to help Sana, he had to try. Days passed in a haze of hospital visits, paperwork, and sleepless nights. Rowan worked longer hours than ever, his hands aching from exhaustion. During lunch breaks he sat on park benches studying medical brochures while the sun warmed the pavement and office workers hurried past. Some days hope felt close. Other days it slipped away like sand through his fingers. Then something unexpected happened. A nurse named Marisol noticed Rowan's quiet determination. She saw the way he arrived early every day with a bag of homemade snacks for Sana and how he thanked every staff member with tired but sincere gratitude. Word of his situation slowly spread among hospital employees and even some patients' families. One afternoon, while Rowan waited in the hospital courtyard watching sunlight dance through the trees, Marisol approached him with news. A charity foundation connected to the hospital had reviewed Sanaa's case. They were willing to cover a large portion of the treatment costs. For a moment Rowan could not breathe. The courtyard seemed brighter, the air warmer, as if the entire world had exhaled with him. The surgery was scheduled quickly. On the morning of the procedure, Rowan held Sanaa's small hand as sunlight streamed through the hospital window. Children laughed somewhere down the hallway, and the smell of fresh coffee drifted through the air. Rowan's heart pounded as doctors gently wheeled Sanaa toward the operating room. Hours passed like years. Finally the surgeon emerged with a calm smile and reassuring eyes. The procedure had been successful. Rowan felt his knees weaken as relief flooded his body. The long months of fear, doubt, and sacrifice melted away in that moment. When he finally saw Sanaa awake and smiling weakly from her hospital bed, sunlight spilling across her blanket, Rowan realized something powerful. The boss had been wrong. Hope was never a waste. In the weeks that followed, Sanaa's strength slowly returned. She began drawing pictures again, filling the apartment walls with bright suns, trees, and smiling stick figures holding hands. Rowan worked as hard as ever, but now each day felt lighter. News of Rowan's story eventually reached the company's leadership beyond Victor Calder. When they learned how their supervisor had refused assistance to an employee in crisis, they took action. The company introduced a new employee support program and quietly removed Calder from his position. But Rowan was not focused on revenge or resentment. His world revolved around something far more important. Every sunny afternoon he walked with Sanaa through the park near their apartment, watching her run beneath the warm daylight that once felt so uncertain. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who might need a reminder about kindness, and subscribe to Whisper Tales 3 for more meaningful stories that celebrate hope and humanity. And before we reach the ending, here is a special request. Please comment below with the word hope if you believe one act of kindness can change someone's entire life. Because sometimes the world tells us to stop believing, to stop trying, to stop spending our energy on things that seem uncertain. But Rowan Malik learned something powerful standing under the bright daytime sky outside that hospital.